Welcome back, everyone. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the spending in the U.S. government. The spending within the last, I don't know, 8 to 10 years with George W. Bush and Barack Obama. I get people coming to me all the time on my YouTube channel here, blasting me for not railing against the Bush administration spending and borrowing money to wage war in Iraq and Afghanistan, borrowing money from the Chinese to wage war, which is absolutely amazing to me. But the deal is that during the Bush administration, most people were asleep. The United States was asleep. It's a fact that people were not paying attention. I was paying attention. I didn't have my YouTube channel, so I did not rail against it. I didn't rail against it until I realized what these people were doing. I didn't even open this channel until I knew and could see what was happening in the United States of America, and that our government was actually driving this country into the ground by design. That's when I opened up my YouTube channel, and that's when I started crying out to the public. But I have been talking about this amongst my people and my friends since halfway through George Bush's term, presidency. So, I mean, yeah. But can't you see that Obama's doing the same thing? Can't you see that Obama is spending more money than Bush did? And that if we continue down the path that Obama is bringing us, that is the path to destruction. You cannot spend and create more debt and think you're going to lower the deficit. You're creating entitlement programs that will be astronomical in cost. Every program that the United States of America, entitlement program that the United States of America's government has undertaken, has been tenfold more money than they said it would be. Why we believe them with these numbers is ridiculous. It's about spending money. It's about creating debt. I think it was, Thomas Jefferson. It is incumbent on every generation to pay its own debts as it goes, a principle which if acted upon, would save 1/2 of the wars of the world. And this is what I wrote. Who gave the government permission to borrow money to meet the day-to-day needs of the government? Why is the government borrowing money? Why is the United States of America's government borrowing money? Why? To put Americans, the citizens, the civilians of the United States of America on the hook for all of these entitlement programs. Why are they borrowing money? If we can't pay for our own government programs, then they shouldn't exist. We should not be borrowing money for entitlement programs. We just shouldn't. Is that fiscally responsible? It is not. It is not. It is time for the people of the United States to see that this government is doing this by design. They're creating more debt. There's stimulus package after stimulus package after stimulus package, and they're all called different things. And every bill they pass, they put in structure that's going to lead us to a place that we don't want to be. A place where our sovereignty is no longer. A place where we are controlled by others, unelected people. People that we have not elected. Do you understand? Why would they do this? Why are they doing this? Another way they're destroying this economy is they're destroying the state and local governments financially. The progressive movement, the government. And they're doing it through unions. And every time I mention unions, I'm going to get 100 people screaming at me saying, unions fight for fair wages for the people against the corporations. Okay, I'll give you that, but why is our federal government, why is every employee for the government unionized? I don't think that the military is, but I'm talking about state, local, federal government employees are part of unions. Do you see what's happening in Greece right now? The entitlement programs have bankrupted the country and their country is about to collapse, but the union workers are screaming they want to keep all their goodies that the unions have promised them. It's all about destroying. It's all about creating a reformation. It's all about creating a democracy, mob rule. You want your goodies, let's go fight for them. And let's undermine our country in the process. Let's take over. Let's have a mob rule. We'll give you all your goodies. They're promising you all these things that they can't give you. And the funny thing about it is these people in Greece are fighting for these goodies, but when they collapse their country, their goodies are gone too. So why don't you just give back the goodies that should have never been offered to you, should have never been promised? The government should have never gone along with it, but they did. But it's all to get every country into one, because into one country or one government control around the world. Can you understand that? Greece now is indebted to the EU and will be forever. The EU will own Greece. That's it. Their sovereignty is gone. They've been bailed out. Okay, that's what's going to happen here if we continue the downward spiral. Keep on creating debt, and that's what they're doing. The unions in our country, in our states, are doing the same thing. They're bleeding our local states and governments dry. State and local governments dry. They're bleeding them dry. They're cutting education. They're cutting firemen. They're cutting police. They're cutting this, that, and the other. But will they cut the entitlements that are draining the coffers of the state and local governments? No. And when they do, watch. The same thing that's happening in Greece will happen here. You're taking my goodies that I've been promised. You should have never been promised those goodies because they're unsustainable. We're borrowing money from other countries to continue entitlement programs. Is that self-defeating? Isn't that self-defeating? That's all I'm going to talk about today. God bless America.